Merchandising is the planning, buying, and selling of merchandise. It is an integral part of retailing and is also one of the most challenging functions. According to the American Marketing Association, they define merchandising as the planning involved in marketing the right merchandise at the right place, at the right time, in the right quantity, at the right price. Merchandising can be termed as the analysis, planning, acquisition, handling, and control of the merchandise investment of retail operations. These are the factors that affects the merchandising functions: size of the organization structure, type of stores, and merchandising to be carried.
Merchandise planning. Merchandise planning can be defined as the planning and control of the merchandise inventory of the retail firm in a manner which balances between the expectations of the target customers and the strategy of the firm. The implications of merchandise planning are finance, which involves the payments to suppliers and profitability measurements. Marketing, whereas new product introductions and developing advertisements happens. Store operations, which space planning and communication about new products and their features is included. In warehouse and logistics, where the details of purchase order and allocation is compromised.
The next is merchandise planning process. Stage 1, developing the sales forecast. There are 5 levels. Number 1, reviewing past sales. Number 2, analyzing the changes in the economic condition. Number 3, analyzing the changes in the sales potential. Number 4, analyzing the changes in the marketing strategies and the competitions. And lastly, number 5, create the sales forecast. The second stage is determining the merchandise requirements. Planning and merchandising is at 2 levels. Number 1, the creation of the merchandise budget. There are 5 parts: sales plan, stock report plan, plan reduction, plan purchase, and gross margin. And the second level, and the last one, is the assortment plan.
Next is the merchandise hierarchy. It guides how a retail operation will be organized in terms of in-store management, product placement in store, and inventory management. The first level in merchandise hierarchy is the company. It is the highest level of merchandise hierarchy. Customers make the decision to patronize your company based on the type of merchandise you sell and the price. Next is the department. When customers enter your store, the first thing they look for is a specific department. Departments are designed to accommodate a variety of goods of one type. Next is merchandise classification. It is standardizing hierarchies and product data across the enterprise by way of developing common definitions, terminology, and structures. Next is merchandise category. Retailers group merchandise into categories in order to classify and structure every single item sold in store. Merchandise subcategory. It is where your customers make their decision to buy your merchandise. It groups items that are in the same class together based on specific attributes. Style price point. It refers to a point on a scale of possible prices. Out of these possible points, some yield higher profits. And the last one is the SKU or stock keeping unit. It is the code that tracks product, manufacturer, and price information. It is used for inventory and sales tracking.
Some key merchandising terms. Staple or basic merchandising, meaning products are always in demand. Food and water are some examples of basic necessities. Fashion merchandising. Products as high demand for a relatively short period of time. Seasonal merchandising. Seasonal products such as items meant for holidays. Fad merchandising are items that generate a high sales for a short time. Style. Unique shape or form of end product. Assortment. Variety of merchandise mix. The width, breadth of assortment refers to the number of brands. The depth of assortment. Variety in one goods or services category. Points to be kept in mind while creating a plan. The merchandise budget should be prepared in advance of selling season. The language of the budget should be easy to understand. Merchandise budget must be planned for a short period. 6 months is the normal norm. And lastly, the budget should be flexible.
Key components of merchandise planning. First one is planned sales. It is a projected sales for a period of time. As the name implies, it is usually planned. An example of planned sales is shown in the table presented. Last year's sales for the same period is 40,000 for the month of April, June, and August. Percentage increase for the April is 14%, in June 19%, and in August 25%. Planned sales in April is 45,600, for the June is 47,600, and lastly for the August is 50,000. In order to acquire the planned sales, we need to follow a certain formula. The percentage increase should be multiplied with the sales, then the answer should be added into the sales again to get the planned sales. The next one is purchase plan. These are merchandises that will be purchased on a given time. For example, Cassandra is a buyer in a department store who plans purchases for the next month. It is shown in the table that the estimated sales is 200,000, reduction plan is 20,000, the ending inventory is 40,000, and the beginning inventory is 35,000. For the solution, the formula of plan purchase is plan sales plus plan reduction plus plan EOM or end of the month minus plan BOM before of the month. So, it is 200,000 plus 20,000 plus 40,000 minus 35,000 equals 225,000. This is the plan purchase for the month.
Number 4 is plan reduction or retail reduction. The difference between merchandise items retail value and its sales value due to 3 major factors, which are the markdowns such as sales and promos stimulate the sale. Number 2 is discounts which are commonly given to the employees. And number 3 are shortages that are due to shoplift, theft, and damaged items. Number 5 is planned markup. Markup refers to the value that the retailer adds to the cost price of product. It allows the retailer to determine the money he makes from selling every unit of a product. The formula for calculating it is markup in RS or markup in retail sales equals selling price less cost price. Then to get the markup percentage, we just divide markup in RS by retail price. The number 6 is gross margin, which is difference between selling price and the cost of a product. The formula for calculating is profit equals gross margin less operating expense. Number 7 is beginning of the month and end of the month inventory levels. There are 4 methods of inventory planning. One is stock to sales method, and the formula for this method is stock to sales ratio equals stock in hand at the end of the month divided by sales for the same month equals value of inventory divided by the actual sales.
Here are the methods used in merchandise planning. The first one is the basic stock method of inventory planning. The formula for this is basic stock is equal to the average stock for the season minus the average monthly sales for the season, where the monthly sales for the season is equal to the total planned sales for the season divided by the number of months in the season, while the average stock for the season is equal to the total planned sales for the season divided by the estimated inventory turnover rate for the season. The beginning of the month or the BOM stock is equal to the planned monthly sales plus the basic stocks. The next one is the percentage variation method. This method is typically utilized when stock turnover is greater than 6 times per year. The formula for this is the beginning of the month stock or the BOM stock is equal to the average stock per season times 1/2, open and close parentheses, 1 plus the planned sales for the month divided by the average monthly sales. Lastly, the week's supplies method. Examples for these methods are the grocery stores that plan their inventory weekly rather than monthly and whose sales do not change significantly. It is calculated as BOM stock or the beginning of the month stock is equal to the average weekly sales times the number of weeks to be stocked.
Stage 2. Merchandise control. The open to buy. The concept of open to buy has 2 folds. First, depending on sales of the month and the reduction. Second, the plan relation between the stocks and sales can be maintained. Open to buy ensures that the buyer limits overbuying and underbuying, prevents loss of sales due to unavailability of the required stocks, maintain purchases within the budget limits, and reduce markdowns, that is reduction in price, which may arise due to excess buying. The formula to get the open to buy is open to buy equals actual end of the month minus projected end of the month stocks. And the formula for projected end of the month stock is projected end of the month stock equals actual beginning of the month stock plus actual addition to stock plus actual order minus planned monthly sale minus planned reduction for the month.
Product assortment. The process that specifies the product that comprise the company's categories, subcategories, segment, and subsegment. This includes assessing the individual product characteristics such as brand, size, color, style, function, price, etc. To establish a well-balanced and organized assortment, the following must be addressed. Department, the section of the product categories. Product line, the breakdown and specification of product offerings. Product breadth, the number of different brand the store sells, whereas depth is the number of different variation of each type. Range plan outlines the company's collection with all the designs and financial parameters set out. Range planning should consider the following. Its product offering should always be adequate and assist the customer's decision making. In obtaining the required number of stocks, we must consider that if the stock is depleted, sales are lost, income is jeopardized,
if the stock is too much. Model stock plan. After determining the money available for buying, a decision needs to be taken on what to buy in what quantity. Here are the steps. First, identify the attributes that the customer would consider while buying the product. Second, identify the number of levels under each attributes. Third, allocate the total units to the respective item category. The process of merchandise planning may be top-down or bottom-up. By the way, what is top-down and bottom-up planning? Top-down planning occurs when the corporate's objective dictates the company's financial objectives in terms of sales, profits, and working capital. While bottom-up planning, individual department managers work on the estimated sales projection.